Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a journey it has been so far. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here. Like I should just dance. Whew. A lot of people have been asking, what is the secret to this conference? How are we getting everything done? And the answer, I have three things to tell you. One, we have the greatest team in the world. Pulse, kudos. I want to take this opportunity to say kudos to the team, the most amazing team in the world. Number two, the most amazing team in the world. And then number three, AI. And so this is why we're so excited about this conference, to talk to you about building your teams, to talk to you about using AI to accomplish your goals, all of those good things, right? So yeah, here we are. Before I go on, I want to just take this moment to say thank you to my boss, Devonte, who is so strategic and so innovative. And I'm just so glad I get to work with him. So great job, Devonte. Lots going on. Thank you for just being there and doing what needs to be done. Secondly, I want to thank the marketing team. Jenny, I see you. You're awesome. Thank you. And for everybody else on the marketing team, thank you for the work you're doing. I want to say thank you to the operations team. You guys are chef's kiss. Thank you. To the chief of staff, to everybody on the Pulse team, thank you so much. It's just such a joy getting to work with you. Of course, the engineering team. Ooh, man, developing this platform from scratch. You guys are awesome. And this is why I'm so excited to work with you and to talk about all the amazing stuff we get to do with AI. So let's talk about my session today and why I'm really excited about it. And I'll give you a little bit of an intro to who I am and why I love community-powered growth marketing. So my name is Osayi Lasisi. I have been a marketer for over a decade. I know I look young. I have good genes, but I have been doing this work for over a decade. I have been doing virtual conferences and podcasts and online classrooms and everything virtual for over a decade. Just think about that. Like, wait, did this exist? Yes, it existed then. So I'm really excited to talk to you about it because these are some of the tools that we use for community-powered growth marketing. And I get to lead marketing here at Pulse. And this is some of the work that we do with the clients that we work with, some of the strategies that we work with them on to make sure that they're successful as well. I know Devonte shared a bit about the way that we work, and essentially, not only do you get the support of the engineering team or the operations team, but you'll also get marketing support. And I get to share a lot of the work that I've done, all my experience over the years, and you get all of that. So let's talk about it. Let's talk a little bit about it, so that even if you're like, you know what, I could do this by myself, let me give you all the strategies you need, all the step-by-step things you need. So my invitation right now is, if you have a notebook or a notepad somewhere around you, just open it up. Open it up so you could take some quick notes and then you can research it later. Because I only have 26 minutes now. And so I'll be going pretty quickly. And I'll be using some of our clients as case studies and just sharing some of those details so that you can see some of the strategies and the ideas that go behind everything. So first of all, what is community-powered growth marketing? This is using authentic relationships and engaged networks to drive awareness, engagement, and conversions without burning through your budget. So if you have a lot of money, right, that's fine. This might not be for you because you could just, spend money and get what you need. But if you are budget conscious, then community powered growth marketing is something that will be extremely valuable for you. And the whole goal is to help you create awareness, help people to know more about you, to create engagement so that people connect. Now they know about you, they connect with you, and then conversion to turn them into clients, turn them into leads, whatever it is you want to convert into. So let's talk about awareness. There are different things you can do for awareness. Awareness is about how people first discover you, because of course, there's so many options available now. There's so many companies, there's so many businesses. If you think you don't have competitors, you probably need to do a little bit more research, right? But everybody has a competitor. So even if your competitor is somebody's notebook, everybody has a competitor. So the whole thing is we need to come up with strategies that will help people to find out about you. It can be a community event. It can be you go out into your community, you connect with people, and they learn about you. Oh, wow, you sell candles. I didn't know that. And now they're talking about you. Oh, I want to buy candles. I'll go to that guy. It could be collaborations, right? You partner with somebody who already has the community of people you want to connect with. It could also be user-generated content where the people who are using your product, your candles, your software, they share content that talks about you, and that increases awareness. So an example could be a party. For one of the clients that I'm working with, one of my special clients, we're doing a kids party so that more people will be aware of the brand. And we're getting sponsors to create this kids party. Engagement. Engagement is about how people interact with you before they buy, because they want to know you, they want to be able to trust you, they want to be able to say you are the best option, right? And so this is where you want to be creative, because it's rare that somebody learns about you the first time and immediately they pay. Oftentimes they have to test things out. They have to use different things. They have to listen, they have to research, because everybody works for their money. Well, most people work for their money. So they're not going to want to just give it away unless they are sure that you can solve the problem that they're trying to solve. And we'll talk some more about that. So for example, if you use Canva lets you you sign up for free, and that's a freemium offering, right? And then you get to test things out. And then when you get to a certain point, they encourage you to pay, right? So even if you have a physical product or a software product, you want to be thinking about ideas to engage with them. It could be that you're providing a free conference, and then you're going to be able to send emails to tell them more about the work that you're doing, which is something that we're doing at Pulse, right? You're part of this conference right now. Okay, so the next thing is conversion. Conversion is how this interest turns into sales or signups. That's easy. So I just like to keep it as those three things. How interest turns into sales or signups. So what can you give people that will make them want to sign up? What can you help people to understand that will make them want to to give you their money, to buy, right? And so there are different activities that you can do. So for example, for the candle, for someone who's selling candles, thank you for sharing that case study, for that example, and we could use it as a case study. You can have a member event, and then people get to smell the candles and experience the candles. And then part of marketing is you're going to sell the candles at that event. Or if it's software, you have that paywall where people have all the free access and then they pay to get access. So that's the what we called product-led growth. Or if it's sales-led growth, where you have a salesperson who will have a conversation with a potential client, and then they will tell them all the benefits, and then they will buy. But in every aspect, marketing is involved some way. So you want to be thinking about those three things, okay? So I said awareness, I said engagement, and I said conversion. I hope you took those down in your notes. Now, before we even get to that, to awareness, engagement, and conversion, we need to be thinking about why should someone even care about my product? And one of the frameworks that I really love is this idea of jobs to be done. Okay, this is really key. So write that in your note or type it into your phone, whatever you're using to take notes so that you can research it. Jobs to be done. When someone is interested in your product, it's not because they care about your product. I mean, I guess friends might want to support you, and that's great. Family might want to support you, and that's great. But they're always thinking about the jobs that they want to get done. So thinking about that, what is the job to be done? And the job to be done, we look at it in three different ways. There's functional, there's emotional, and there's social. The functional job is I'm trying to get this thing done, right? I'm trying to put my picture on the wall so that I get to see my family all the time and be happy whenever I see it. Emotional. I want to be happy every time I walk through the hallway or through my living room. And social. And when people come into my house, I want them to get this feeling of, oh, this is a trustworthy person. That we keep accepting them because look, they have a beautiful family. So for almost everything, there are those three jobs to be done. 1, functional, 2, emotional, and 3, social. And so let me give you an example using the candle brand. Functional. Someone might feel like I want my room to smell a certain way. Like if the candle brand is Ocean Breeze, I want my room to smell like the ocean. That's functional. Emotional, because every time I think of the ocean, I remember my vacation. So it's very relaxing. I want to come home and relax. And so this candle helps me to relax. Social. And when people come to visit, they will enjoy the aesthetic of my home. And so I will be socially accepted, right? A lot of people won't tell you about the social acceptance part of things, but it's often part of what we do. It's the why we dress the way we dress. It's the why we speak, the reason we speak the way we speak, a lot of those things. So you want to think about functional, emotional, and social. Thinking about it for like software. So for example, let's say someone who does a lot of accounting, a lot of reporting, the functional job, maybe your software can help them to automate the reporting that they're doing. That's it, functional. Then the emotional part, they've been using Excel. They don't really know how to use Excel. They've been manually doing things. It takes so much time. They're stressed. Their family knows whenever they're doing reports and everybody's stressed in the house and all of that. So the emotional job of this software is not only to automate the reporting, but it reduces the stress for them from work, from doing all the manual work. And then the social is to impress the boss with fast, polished insights, or to impress clients with fast, polished insights. So once again, we're seen as good at the work that we're doing. So my invitation right now is for you to think about those 3 categories of jobs to be done: functional, emotional, and social. Because community-powered growth and all the activities, whether it's awareness, whether it's engagement, whether it's conversion, needs to be able to speak to all those things. All those things. The functional job, the emotional job, and the social job. Oftentimes, the emotional job, when you put that in your copy, and copy is what you write when you're creating ads, when you put that emotional job in your copy, people feel heard, people feel seen, people feel like, oh, you know me. And so when you do that, they're more likely to engage with you. They're more likely to listen to you. And then you can go from there. So let's talk a little bit about why this is important for you to do this work first. and how you can do this work. So like I said, the reason is that people resonate better. If you just come and you say, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product, great, some people might buy. But if you don't go into talking about the functional job, the emotional job, and sometimes the social job, sometimes you don't want to make the social job so obvious, because we all like to believe that most of us like to believe that we're unique. We're not moved by what people say or do and stuff like that. So you want to put it kind of underlying, but the emotional and functional really need to be out there. And so people are more likely to engage. So how can you get this information? If you already have some clients, you can ask them about it. How does this help you? How do my candles help you? If you don't yet have clients, think about why you got into the business. You might be your own ideal client. Was it something you experienced that made you go into the business? Or was it something that you heard somebody else talking about that made you go into the business? So if you hear that, then you can start to think about, how can I use this information in my copy? So for example, if you are someone who started selling candles because you went to the candle store, you saw all that was there, but you couldn't find the one smell you wanted, the one aroma you wanted. We were in the store the other day and my daughter saw chapstick Doritos flavor. She's like, why does someone want this? I'm like, somebody obviously wants it. So maybe you're one of those people who's like, I want a Doritos candle because Doritos makes me feel good. And so you decided to create your own Doritos scented candle. Wonderful. So now you want to talk about that. What is the functional reason for that? I want my house to smell like Doritos. Why? Doritos makes me happy. And maybe I'm on a diet, so I don't want to eat Doritos. And the smell is not going to make me want it. It's just going to make me feel the joy, And then the social job would then be, maybe when friends come over, we can laugh about it. It's quirky. It's all of those things. I'm seen as a funny person. I'm accepted in society. So you want to think about those things and start to draft your messaging. And that's what will kind of help you craft your strategy as well, your marketing strategy, so that everything that you're saying, everything that you're doing, everywhere you're going to the right people. So then you're going to people who care about Doritos flavored candles, because you're looking for fun people. You're looking for people who are thinking about these things, maybe people who have little kids or something like that. You continue to get more clarity. Now, if somebody only wants candles for their wedding, and the wedding is like a classic wedding, they might not want your Doritos candle. But if they're doing this for a wedding and their wedding was a fun, quirky wedding, they might. So it helps you to get some of that clarity about creating that strategy. So let's talk about community growth marketing and community-powered growth marketing. Community-powered growth marketing is essentially how you connect with communities of people who need your product, who desire your product, who your product is going to be the answer to their problems. Now, there are different ways that you can do that. You can create your own community. So, create a community on Slack, for example, and it's for people who like candles, people who like quirky candles. But when you're creating the community, you also want to be generous with the community. So you're not just throwing ads in there, but you're actually creating a community where people are learning, people are connecting. Secondly, you can join a community that exists. There are lots of communities that exist. And my encouragement would be to start with that. Find communities that already exist, join them, learn about how things work there, learn about what's working and what's not working. And then you'll see, okay, maybe it makes sense for me to create my own community. But join that community. Find a Slack group, find a Facebook group, find a LinkedIn group, or Discord, right? A Discord channel, wherever you're going, wherever your people are, because you've done the clarity about the jobs to be done. You've gotten the clarity about who needs the specific product. And that way you'll be able to know, these are the people I want to connect with, and this is the community that they are in. And then the third thing would be partnering with those communities. So it could be a paid partnership where you are paying them for their support. You're paying them to share their access to their community. So you can do like a combined event with them, a joint sponsor or co-sponsored conference with them, a co-sponsored in-person event, or anything where it's co-sponsored, because that person has access to the community of people you want to connect with. So that's a third way that you can do this, right? And the main goal is to realize that you can always do your marketing one-to-one, which is great. But once you're able to tap into communities that already have the structure and the cohesion, and they already have the clarity about what they want and what they need, and they can really just easily plug in your product or your software or your service, it's a little bit faster. It's a little bit easier. Now, if you were creating your own platform, your own community, it can take some time, right? Because you need to build that trust, you need to create that safety. If you were to plug into another community, which I say is the best first step, just join, see how membership is, and be generous there and connect with people. It can take some time as well. But you always want to remember that it's a long-term strategy. And there are short-term opportunities. Oftentimes, the shorter-term opportunities are the paid partnerships. But if you can do all three at the same time, kudos to you. That can be helpful as well. But one of the things that you can do when you're connecting to other communities is letting people know that you're here to be generous, so that they can know, like, and trust you, right? You're here to support people. You're here to offer answers, to offer suggestions, all of those things. You're here to support them. And so in that community, when you continue to build trust, you might not even need to have a paid partnership. You might just find opportunities for main partnerships where you don't have to pay for it. But if you decide to upgrade to paid partnerships, then there are some expectations for those partnerships where you say, okay, this is the expectation. This is what I want to accomplish. We're partnering to do this event. I would like to make sure we have 100 people registered. This is my budget, all of that. I'd like to be on signage, all of those things. So those are the three ways that you can do community-powered growth marketing. Now, when you're thinking about that, what are some simple strategies that you can use? I mentioned that. So for awareness, you can have a collaborative event, influencer event. You can create a shareable challenge where it's either people are sharing your stuff, or you're partnered with somebody else and they're sharing your stuff, right? It's like a partner thing. So if you go on Instagram and people are like, if you like this and you follow all these people, you could win. That's community powered, right? For lead generation, and that's just to get awareness, because you're clicking, you're liking. Now you're like, whoa, I never knew about this platform. Oh, I didn't know that Doritos scented candles existed. And that's awareness. Now, if you wanted lead generation, where you're getting people's emails so you can continue to nurture them, you can continue to engage with them, let them know about how awesome you are, then you can say, sign up and I'll give you a coupon for $5 off or £5 off or whatever, or sign up and you get the promos, or you get special recipes if it's like you're selling something that's aligned with food or something like that, right? And so people sign up for your newsletter. And so that's where you can have a free webinar, you can have gated assets. So gated assets is like an ebook, right? Like recipe book. Or if you're a software company, you write an ebook about how to use specific software people really care about, or how to do things with software that people care about, or whatever it is, because you understand the jobs to be done, right? So you create an ebook or some kind of asset that people can use around those jobs to be done. So, for example, if you're selling those candles, you can create an ebook about how to create a party that people are engaged with, and it's quirky and ideas, and people can give you their email to download that. Or if you're selling software that helps with accounting and reporting, you can give an ebook that talks about how to organize your data so that you can easily automate it, right? And you can also do a referral program where you provide rewards. So other people refer others, right? So people who love the product that you have, your software, they will put a referral out there. They will say, use my link to sign up and you'll get $2 off, or use my link to sign up. And everybody who signs up from that link, you're going to pay the referrer some money, or you give them a percentage or whatever. So there are different agreements. And so that's why I'm also really excited about the affiliate session, because you start to realize that there are different opportunities for growth-powered marketing where you can just leverage other people and their communities, and you only pay them when something happens. So you might not pay for the leads. You can decide to pay for leads, or you can decide to pay for every lead that converts to a sale. And we could talk some more about that, because like I said, we only have 5 more minutes now. And then we go into customer retention, because after they've become a customer, then you need to give them a good experience for them to stay. You do not want them to churn. Churn is when they say, this is not good enough, and they leave. So you can do exclusive early access for new features, for new products, member-led Q&A where you're answering member questions. You can do a VIP club for your special customers. And I'm not going to go into too much details there, because while that is also growth marketing, it depends on where you are in your journey. And we can go into details of different things that you can do. Then we could talk about revenue growth. So you can have a client that's working with you. They love what you're doing, but then you tell them, did you know we also have an accelerator? You've been using the Pulse app and you love it and you've been paying monthly, but do you know we also have an accelerator that can support you? Those kinds of things. And if you didn't know, we do. Pulse has an accelerator helping businesses just grow and bloom, and it's awesome. Then we have advocacy. That's another thing that you can get your clients to help you with, where they're sharing photos. They're sharing photos of them doing work more efficiently. Their reports taking minutes instead of days, and you give them a reward for that. So you start to get user-generated content that AI loves, right? And that's the UGC session as well. I really love that session. So you get to create all of this content, and you're giving your members some rewards for sharing, but they're only sharing the truth. So this is all part of community-powered growth marketing. And you can automate it within your app, where it's not like you have to manually do anything. And this is something that we can talk to you some more about in the engineering session, which is where we just talk about how we work with clients and all of that. So if you create some kind of opportunity for people to promote your product, right? They become advocates, and you can start to create an ambassador program. You start gamifying the process. You give them points, you give them rewards, you give them access to different things. So for example, there are software platforms where you get more access, or you get more bandwidth, or you get more storage space if you share more. And so that's also part of community-powered growth. So it's not only the marketing team physically posting things online, but everybody is involved, right? So let me give you a quick summary in the last 2 minutes. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Leave the questions in Discord or send an email, and I'll be glad to respond. First, you want to listen. The first most important thing is listen. And how do you listen? You could do surveys, you can do polls, you can have informal chats. Listen so you get clarity on the jobs to be done. 2, choose the right space for your community. If it's going to be online, whether you're using Discord or Slack or Facebook, whatever, or you create your own platform, which we can help you to do as well. We've enjoyed really doing that for clients. Fine. Or if it's offline, events, meetups, all of that. Then create consistent value, educational, entertaining, exclusive value. People love that. And then involve the community in building your products, because they feel like, oh, I'm part of creating this product. And then measure. Track what's working and what's not working. And so finally, I say, if you'd like to schedule a call with me so that we can talk about this, go to our website, go to pulseventures.co.uk and click the connect with us, contact us so we can talk about your strategy. And this is a free service. We'll just talk about what's working for you, what's not working, and we'll be able to support you. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here today. I am looking forward to seeing you on the other session.